researchers conducted a study in which they analyzed the genetics of 81 Italian men and women who were over 105 years old. They ultimately found 5 unusual genetic differences. The differences were seen in the usual repair process of DNA, which seems to work extraordinarily in these people. But before we continue, if you are new to our channel, do not forget to hit the subscribe button to be able to view our videos in the future. Kane Tanaka of Fukuoka, Japan, is considered the oldest living person in the world who just celebrated her 116th birthday. The group of people who live to be 105 years old or older are called semi-supercentenarians. Supercentenarians are actually people who live to the old age of 110 or older. The latest study, published in the Aging, Neuroscience and Longevity, a special issue of the journal eLife, examines the genomes of semi-supercentenarians and has discovered the key to their amazingly long lives. It is their DNA which is exceptionally good at repairing itself. People involved in the researchers called for 81 volunteers for their genetic and analysis study from different regions in Italy. Some of them were semi-supercentenarians and the others were supercentenarians. Researchers compared their genetic makeup of old people with those of 36 healthy people from the same areas who were just around 68 years old. Paolo Garagnani, the first author of the study from the University of Bologna, explains, "Aging is a main cause for several chronic diseases and illnesses. We decided to study the genetic makeup of people who lived beyond 105 years, and compare them with others of younger adults from the same regions in Italy, because these usually people intend to avoid many age-related health problems, and in this way they represent the best example of healthy aging." The authors of the study used blood samples from both these groups and conducted whole genome sequencing. Moreover, they compared findings with the conclusions drawn in previously published research describing the genetic makeup of 333 Italian people who are over 100 years old, and 358 people were approximately 60 years. Massimo Deledone, the first co-author of this study from the University of Verona, said, "This research constitutes the first whole genome sequencing of extreme longevity at high coverage that allowed us to look at both inherited and naturally occurring genetic changes in older people. The genes only can show everything in semi-supercentenarians and also some supercentenarians." The researchers discovered 5 unusual genetic changes that were often present in the 2 genes, COA1 and STK17A, data that was consistent with the previous research. The most intriguing, the genetic variations that appear to be linked to increased activity of the STK17A gene in some tissues, the gene responsible for 3 critical cell repair activities: managing cells' response to DNA damage, prompting badly damaged cells to die off, and controlling the amount of dangerous reactive oxygen species in a cell. Cells unable to do these types of repair activities are most likely to become cancerous in the future. Be careful. The COA1 gene is involved in energy production by maintaining communication between the cell nucleus and mitochondria. Researchers believe it is the genetic variants they detected reduce the level of COA1 activity, which in turn reduces energy production as well as the aging process. One of the theories of aging is that energy production produces reactive oxygen species that damage cells and help aging. Finally, researchers noted that the genetic variants they identified are also connected directly to the increased expression of HBLVRA gene in some tissues as well. This gene is also involved in the elimination of reactive oxygen species that are dangerous. Senior author of the study Claudio Franceschi of the University of Bologna adds, "Our results suggest that DNA repair mechanisms and a low burden of mutations in specific genes are 2 central mechanisms that have protected people who have reached extreme longevity from age-related diseases." Well, that's it for now. If you think this video is good, please give it a like and share it with your friends.